Hey y'all, gonna bring you along on another canning recipe. Today I'm gonna be canning up some chicken, but I'm not gonna do just chicken. There's plenty of videos out there for that, so I'm gonna leave that up. I'll leave some links to a couple at Linda's Pantry. I believe Two Lulu Preserves has some. I'm Still Working has some. But what I'm gonna make today is a recipe out of the all-new Ball Book of Canning and Preserving. I'm going to be doing page 283, the Hearty chicken stew. Let me take that out of your way. It shows it used for a pot pie. This is supposed to make 6 pints, so this will be enough for me to have a couple on hand if I want to make a pot pie, and I'm going to take a couple of jars to my mom. Already in the pot over here, and I'll bring you over once I clear out some counter space. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter and 1½ cups of diced onions, Vidalia, of course. It calls for ½ cup of mushrooms, diced fresh mushrooms. I'm not going to put mushrooms in here. I'm going to use some sweet corn, simply because my husband's not crazy about mushrooms, and I just don't care for mushrooms in my pot pie. Sorry, got a piece of celery that was escaping. Okay, let's see. So I'm substituting corn for mushrooms. 1½ cups of diced carrots, which I've already got chopped up in a container right here. I pre-did that. ½ cup of chopped celery I've got in this cup right here, along with a cup of the diced Yukon potatoes. Potatoes came from my garden. 5 cups of chicken stock. I don't have any home canned chicken stock, so I'm going to be using some organic free-range chicken broth. That's really only 4 cups. Excuse me. Yeah, that's only 4 cups, so I'm going to have to add a little bit. Probably make some with this better than bouillon. Since I know I'm going to have some extra chicken to put in a jar, it'll need some broth with it. 1 cup of dry white wine. I did not get out a bottle of white wine yet. 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. Got my thyme. 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to use canning salt. 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. There you go. 1 bay leaf. 3 cups of 1-inch cubed, skinned and boned and raw chicken. I've got that in here. It's underneath the cubed. I've already cubed it. It's underneath these strips. I've got to move them out of the way. 1/2 cup of frozen baby peas that are thawed. Sweet peas. I just grabbed green peas. I didn't see any baby sweet peas. And as I said, I'm going to use frozen corn that's been thawed. Whatever I have left out of these packages, I'm going to dehydrate. And 1 tablespoon of bottled lemon juice in there. Okay, so like I said, I've already got my butter and onions in this pot, cooking down a little bit. The butter still needs to melt some. I turned my heat up. My butter was trying to burn on me. So let's get this stuff going, and bring you back when I can reset up the camera and get y'all where you can watch. Alrighty, we got the onions sauteed down a little bit. I went ahead and added the corn because this is the point when I would have put the mushrooms in. I should have waited, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's see what it says after I add the corn. Okay, add the onions and mushroom and saute for 3 minutes until the mushrooms are lightly brown. Well, no mushrooms. So actually, I'm probably ready for the carrots. I'm going to toss my carrots in there. And my diced potatoes and celery. Come on. One of them escaped. So we're going to saute this for 2 minutes, and then we're going to add our stock. So I don't think you need to sit here and watch this, but so Just get this stirred together pretty good and let it cook down a little bit, and come back when we're adding our stock. We're ready for our broth and the next few ingredients. Let's pour it in here. I've got my pressure canner back here on the burner. My jars are in washing right now. And I'm hoping I'm going to get everything coordinated okay. It's been one of those days. I'm not going to be able to, I was hoping I could get some water boiling in time, but unless I take it out of the canner, I added vinegar to that though already. That's what I get. Okay. You know what? Excuse me. We are just going to have to use some canned broth. I hate to do that, but I don't see any other choice because I need one more cup. So 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. The white wine goes in. One of these little bottles, I'm just using this Barefoot Chardonnay. It's a dry white wine. That's exactly 1 cup. I discovered these when I was making bruschetta. And they work perfectly, and I don't have to open a bottle of wine that I'm not going to drink. I'm going to toss in my bay leaf now. Let's see. Let's get the ½ teaspoon of pepper out of the way. ½ teaspoon of black pepper. Calls for 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of thyme. Being that I'm using store-bought chicken, I'm not going to do a chicken stock. I'm not going to do a heaping teaspoon of salt. And the thyme in next. I'm going to go, that's going to be plenty for me. Okay. Now that we've got all that together, we're going to bring this to a boil, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. We're at the 1 minute mark, and the cookbook says for me to simmer, after it came to a boil, I was to simmer this for 10 minutes, reduce the heat and simmer for 10 minutes uncovered until the vegetables are tender, stirring occasionally. And once you remove it from the heat, and then stir in the chicken, the peas, and the lemon juice, remove and discard the bay leaf, and then start ladling into the jars. I want my chicken to par cook just a little bit, so even though I'm below the minute mark now, I'm down to seconds. I'm going to stop my timer there. I'm going to put my chicken in now, and I'm going to let it sit in there for at least a minute because I don't want slimy looking jars. So let me get my chicken out of the refrigerator. And let's get it added in here. There we go. That's stirred around. I mean, I'm not going to cook it long, just enough for it to turn, and it's already turning white. So let's clear and do 1 minute. And let's see, we'll go ahead and fish out that bay leaf because it's right there. Okay. I mean, I guess they're figuring it's going to cook anyway because you've already got it hot. I've got lids over here and some hot water simmering. Move them down and hopefully I have enough. Had 1 jar extra of chicken, which I just added some broth to that and threw it in. Okay, we're down to seconds, so I'm gonna toss in my peas. I'm gonna turn off the heat now on that, and I'm gonna add my, oh yeah, one tablespoon of lemon juice. I wanted to double check that. I'm trying to be careful on this recipe. You know what? Shake that lemon juice. Get it mixed a little better. Get it all over my arm too. Alright, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Let's get this mixed together. There we go. Awful lot of stuff. Okay. Now this is supposed to make 6 pints. So let me get everything rearranged, move this off the heat, so that I can start jarring this up. Alright, I'm going to start ladling this into the jars. I've got one of my blue, in there, blue collector jars. My mom will want a blue jar. She likes blue. Some veggies in there. So this has quite a bit of chicken in it. We're going to leave an inch of headspace. Let's see how we're doing there. Where's my debubbler? Yeah, those are a little warm. Get the towel. You would think we would learn after all this time. Hopefully you can see. Let me move that out of the way. Sorry about my lighting in here, it's not so great. Alright, that'll be good enough. Probably can do a smidge more broth for our 1 inch. Wipe our rims. And wand. Bring in a lid. And the hot water. Finger tight. I've got my pressure canner over here and with hot water in it, so I don't give the jars thermal shock. I'm going to cut it up a little bit more. Should be about 180, just at the simmering point. Let's see, this jar, spoon in my way. Make sure where you at. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this other one and I'll hold them. Actually, I can't. It's too far away from the pot, y'all. I'm going to spill and make a mess. Let me get this and then I'll hold this next one up. I need my jar lifter. Let's see, we need more broth. I'm getting lots of chicken chunks and not enough broth. Come on. You definitely want to make sure you've got even amount of broth and solids in here. Okay. Hopefully that'll go down a little bit when I debubble. Again with a hard jar. Ouch. Okay. Yeah, that's going down. That ought to be perfect. Actually, that's a little too much. Let's get a spoon and take that out. Chunk of chicken and see if that'll help. Just set that there. That did it. Okay. That got it. Okay. Wipe this rim with the vinegar. Alright. Jar lifter. Tilt you up so you can see it. Move you up. Hopefully you can see that. It's not too dark. But there we go. It's really pretty, nice golden color. So I'm going to finish jarring these up and get everything in the canner and get this going. Got the canner loaded. I did get 6 pints out of this, and I've got 1 extra jar of some chicken that I'm canning up just because it was a little too much that I had cut up. So I've got plenty of water in here through my vinegar from wiping my rims in here. So I'm going to get this lid on and get it to venting, and then we'll get it up to pressure. Got the chicken stew in the canner. Let me see if I can get you close up. I'm holding steady at 11 pounds of pressure. I'll let my canner vent for 10 minutes before I put the weight on. And these have to stay in here at 11 pounds for 75 minutes. And those are the pints. If it were quarts, I'd have to look that up. I'm going to say it'd be 90, I think. We're making progress. We've got a little over an hour to go. We're all finished now. Pressure has obviously come down to 0. I kind of loosened the lid and kind of canted it off to the side, and I've let them sit in there for 5 minutes. That way I could hear jars pinging all the way in the other room. Gonna let them sit like this for another 5 minutes. I'm down to, we're almost halfway there, and I'm gonna move them over to a mat. Here we go with our finished jars. I've got this can of chicken up front and foremost. I was doing a little experiment with it. I've seen several videos. Linda at Linda's Pantry has several videos on canning chicken, and she highly recommends you par cook it, just because it looks nicer in the jars, and I have to agree with it. I have seen raw chicken that was canned raw, and it's really not attractive. I'm still working just boiled hers, and that's what I did. She just threw it in boiling water and let it simmer for a little bit until it was par cooked, and then put it in chicken broth. That's what I did with this. That's what I had room for on the stovetop. I don't know that I still care for the look of that. It still looks a little funky to me. So I'm going to try, next time I can chicken, I'm going to try Linda's method of probably pan frying it to par cook it in some oil. I think she used olive oil or avocado oil, I'm not sure which. She also has one where she does it, par cooks it in the oven for about, I don't remember how long. I'd have to go look up the video. But anyway, I'm pleased with my outcome. The house smells wonderful, like chicken soup, and making me hungry. Thank you for coming and watching this. If you have any comments or questions, please ask below, or if you're shy and don't want to put a comment below, send me a message. I will try to answer your questions as soon as I possibly can. Thank you for watching. God bless and happy canning.